goes up. It's true. Even now, I'm very nervous. It is, of course, it is natural for many of you to become nervous. That's human. But we somehow have to deal with this and try to give a good presentation. And this morning, what I am trying to show you is several ideas and a little bit of techniques to hopefully improve your presentations. So now let me share the slide. This one. Can you see this? Everybody okay? Okay. My name is, probably many of you know already, Atsushi Ishimatsu. I am an academic advisor of the JICA CTE project. Okay, our project is going to finish soon, and I'm going back to Japan in 10 days, but next year I will come back here and work for the next JICA project for Kanto University. Okay. Okay, let's start. Why it doesn't go? Wait.
Click on the slide, Professor. Click on the slide, and then.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Oh, wait. Stop share. Maybe I go there. And then, okay, let's start from the second one. Yeah, now
we need to click on the slide first, and then
yeah. Okay. Sorry for the trouble from the beginning. Now you understand that I know the PowerPoint very well. Okay, the second slide. Now I realize that my animation is not working. Okay.
Excuse me, I think you should go to the slideshow.
Yeah, this is slideshow.
Yes, but then we have to choose. You have to click click the slideshow on the taskbar, and then we have some choices in the slideshow, and then you can choose. I can't remember. Can you click the slideshow on the taskbar?
Let me do it again.
Wait
a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Stop this one. So this animation is not working.
Can you show the slide in show?
Yes. Now it's good. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you?
It's good
yes.
now.
Now it's perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, but there is something wrong. But anyway, okay. The concept of scientific communication. Okay. The first thing, the most important thing is that you create ideas or concepts, or ideas and concepts supported by the data. Before you going to give a presentation at the scientific meeting, you have already done experiment. So you know all the details and you have data. And based on the data, you create or you generate ideas and concept. But the important thing is that these ideas and concept must be conveyed to your colleagues or other person as a message, okay? And make them understand the meaning and the value of the message you would like to convey, you would like to tell them, okay? So this is the whole picture of scientific communication, but the presentation deals with this part, how you convey or how you transmit those messages to your audience so that they would understand. There are two major methods of scientific communication. One is through written materials, right? And under this, the publication is the most important way and most important outcomes of our activities, so that every scientist spend much time to write a good scientific paper for publication. And that was, I gave a course on English writing for publication, but this is not the content of today's seminar. The other way is poster, as you know. In addition to written materials, okay, the other very important method is giving, transmitting the messages through audiovisual tools or aids, particularly these days, PowerPoint presentation. So this is slide presentation, okay? So today, what we are dealing with is this part, okay? How to do this. So the purpose of this seminar is to show you some hints and techniques to hopefully improve your slide presentation. So now the contents of today's seminar. There are 5 sections: 1, introduction; 2, planning; and 3, designing slides; and 4, rehearsing; and 5, the last one is PowerPoint tips. But I now found that different versions of PowerPoint has different shortcuts and different ways to do things. So I may not be very useful for the last number 5, PowerPoint tips. Okay, introduction. In order to prepare this seminar, I read some publications. These are the selected references I have read. And one thing you would notice, if you look at the journal names in italic, then you would find that most of them are medical journals. So the medical fields, because of its importance and because of scale, they cover the many different fields or techniques which other scientific fields usually do not cover. And presentation technique is one of them. So if you are interested in, you may read one of them. These are all easily available from internet, okay? I also read the books. I read 2 books, these 2 books. But after reading all these papers and books, which took me few weeks, I found these. Okay. One, those papers and books, they are saying the same thing. And also, I found they are all right. Okay. But in parentheses, I put they are often too ideal because they do not really understand how much time we can spend to prepare for a presentation. You know, we have to do many other things, right? We have to give lectures and meetings and experiments, of course. So the time is not indefinite. You know, we have limited time. So the question is, how much time or how and where we can compromise. We always have to compromise, right? And that is the thing I tried to tell you this morning. How the most essential things you better follow. I chose from those many recommendations and suggestions by those papers and books. Okay, I only will tell you only the essence. The one common message from those papers and books is this: the three things hated by the audience. These are when the speaker reads the slide. Okay, sometimes the speaker look back to the screen. You know, there's all these books and the papers. They assume that giving a presentation in the venue, not online way, offline way. Okay, so when you give a presentation offline, sometimes speaker look at the slides, not the audience, right, and read. And this is quite boring. And the number two, the slides are full of sentences, many texts, right? And when you put many texts, you know, naturally the text or fonts will become very small, so that hard to read. These are the things, three things that all the papers and books pointed out that you should avoid. Okay, so with those three things in mind, let's move to planning your presentation. The one thing you have to know is your audience, if possible. This is not always possible, but if possible, you better know who are going to listen to your presentation, listen to your talk, and the knowledge level of those people are better to be known to you, okay? Whether they are specialists in your field or more broader range of scientists, or if they are students, or if they are general public, okay? Depending upon who your audience will be, you may change the contents and words of your presentation so that they can understand you well, okay? Oh, this thing. Now animation works. Okay, and people learn well when they think that the presentation will be beneficial to the audience. Okay, I hope. you think my presentation will be beneficial to you. Okay, I hope so. And number two, when the aims, the purpose of the presentations are clear. Okay. The number 3 and 4 are more minor things. So number 1 and then number 3 are the most important thing about the nature of your audience that you have to, or you better consider. Okay. And one more thing is, this is particularly true when you give your presentation at scientific meeting. Okay, you better focus, you better select the most important things as your message. So do not, in other words, do not put too many things in your presentation. Okay, so the core message better to be either one or a few. Okay, because otherwise audiences will not remember what was important, what were important in your presentation. So we better select, we better squeeze, we better focus upon the core message and give strong message to your audience, okay, by highlighting. This is the what I like. You know, the Einstein left many thoughtful sayings to us, and this is one of them. It says, if you cannot explain it to a 6-year-old, so the primary school, you know, pupil, you do not understand it yourself. In other words, unless you understand the content of your talk to the bottom of your heart, you cannot put it in a simple word. Okay, so this is what he said, and I absolutely agree with this message. So the planning, many papers said KISS, K-I-S-S, keep it simple and short. Okay, simple and short. This is very important. May I move to designing? Okay, today's talk, designing part is the longest section. So far probably no question. Do you have any question about introduction and planning? Section 1, section 2, the simple things. So maybe not. If not, let me move to section 3 of designing. Okay. Designing. Now we are saying kill, not kiss. K-I-L-L. Keep it large and legible. Legible means can be read. Okay. So this means make your figures, tables, fonts large, so that even your audience at the back of your presentation room can read, can understand well. In more, yes, this is like what I told you at the planning section. In more somehow, you know, divided up into each slide. So it's better to limit one idea given in one slide or one concept. In other words, better not put more than 2 ideas or concepts in one slide. Okay. And the other thing, which is also very important, is do not put anything that will not be discussed or used in a slide. In other words, if you do not mention something, this something better to be removed from your slide, so that everything appearing in the slide must be explained to the audience. So because of simple, short, large, legible, many of those books and the other things recommend this. In the title, it should be, all these are, you know, 6 to 7 words in a title, and 6 to 7 lines per slide, and each line should have less than 6 to 7 words. Okay, but this is ideally, I should say. If you look, you know, later you would notice that some of my slides break these rules because it was not really possible. But you try to make slides with these messages in mind. So now let's go into more details. First thing is fonts. Okay, the second one is tables. And third one is graphics, like figures, diagrams. I don't think I will touch upon diagrams this morning, but these are the 3 major types of contents in scientific slides. So let's look at fonts first. Okay. You may know that there are 2 categories of fonts. Okay, one is called serif. The other is called sans serif. Sans means without serif. Serif is this part, you know, this part, these parts. Typical serif font is like Times, okay, Times New Roman. That is, I think this is Times New Roman actually. And this category of fonts has these parts at the end of, you know, bar and other things. Whereas the category sans serif do not have, okay, at the end of strokes. The other difference is the widths of sans serif fonts are same all over, right? But the widths of serif fonts varies from thin here to thick there. And actually, all those papers and books recommend this one for your presentation because they said that it is easier to read from the distance. And actually, I usually use sans serif font, this type, okay? This is one thing about your consideration when you select font for your slide. And another thing is the use of case. You know, the titles, sometimes you use capitals for the first letter of those words, right? Not on prepositions like here, or the article like there. This is okay, but this should be, or this better be used for titles or headings only. For the other sentences or breakpoint, you know, you capitalize only the first letter of each line. The others should be, or better to be, all lowercase letters because it is easier to read. Now the font size, okay, font size. This probably doesn't too much when you are giving your presentation online, but when you are giving your presentation offline, you really have to care about the font size. And if you can anticipate the number of audiences attending to your talk, then the recommendation is like these. You know, the headings for less than 50 or less than 200 or more than 200 people, heading font better to be these. And the text better to be at least larger than 24 points. Okay. Smaller point, the people, audience has difficulty to read, particularly from the back of the presentation room. Okay. So that was font. Now I'm talking about tables. Okay, tables. Tables consist of columns, you know, vertical columns, and rows, horizontal, right? Recommendation is limit the number of columns to 3 or 4, and the number of rows to 5 to 7, not more. Okay, and tables include the numbers, right, in most of the cases. Please use decimal point as numerals and always place 10 in front of a number less than 1, 0 point something, 0 point something, right? Not 0 comma. I know that in several countries, people use comma following 0, right, to express decimal, right, including. But in international publications, as far as I know, they use decimal point, dot, not comma after 0, right? So please keep this in mind. More about tables. This is about aligning texts and numbers within the table, okay? The first thing, this is probably easier for you to see the example, table example I show you next, okay? So don't worry too much about this slide. But there are 4 things. One is major items on the left, flash left, flash left. Oh, my hand is going right, but flash left. This is left, okay? Texts maybe centralized or flash left. Whole numbers flash right. And numbers with decimals 0 point something or 1 point something, these ones, or plus minus signs, these better to be centers on the decimal point or plus minus sign. Like so, okay? This is one example table. So to the leftmost column, I put the names of countries as an example. So flash left means this, flash left, okay? And items in second left one, sushi, I cannot read this Thai. These are centered, centralized, okay, centralized. And when you have whole number, like here, second from the right column, 100, 200, 300, they should be flash right, okay? And finally, the rightmost column, these are decimal numbers, okay, 0 point something, 12 point something, 123 point something. These are better to be centered on decimal point, okay? I guess you know how to flash left here, okay, centralize there, or flash right here, okay? But I wonder if you know the way to flash, centered upon decimal point. So maybe some of you probably know that, but let me show you how to do this, okay, how to do this. Now I go to Word. Wait. This one. Okay. You see this word?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's put some. And the thing is, wait. Thing is this one. Okay. This thing. Each time I click, this changes. Okay. This is to flash left, centralize, flash right, and once more. This now with this symbol, you can center upon the decimal point. I hope I still remember. let's see. Like so, okay, and then I think we have to do this, and then with this symbol, and then you click somewhere here. Then this is a way. Okay, now the numbers are centered on the decimal point. Now I feel I'm very glad that I still remember this. Okay, this is a way. Okay, let me go back to oh wait, no. This one. Okay. Oops. Okay, so I think this is all about tables. Wait. Now it stopped moving again. なんでかな。ちょっと待ってね。あれ？Excuse me. 人がいる。Wait. Yeah. Please again.
Okay, it's okay.
Thank you very much. Sorry about the trouble. Mouse? Yeah. Okay. This I have already explained this. Okay. Next one. Okay. Next thing is figures. Okay. Figure is probably the tables and figures are most important materials in the presentation. Now, the first thing is the use of font. Okay, sorry about this low quality images. I copied this from Japanese Society of Ecology. Okay, and they recommend, and actually many journals recommend to use sans serif font this way. Okay, this one, not this one. But of course, this is different between journals. Okay, I know that some journals they ask the authors to use serif font. Okay, Roman font or other font of serif font. Okay, so be careful about the requirement written in author instruction and follow. If nothing is recommended, then the choice is to use sans serif font like this one. Okay. Another thing is the thickness of lines, right? The difference you can see easily, but we should not use lines which are too thin, like this, right? The third thing is about bar chart. Okay, bar chart. Bar charts should always start at 0. Okay, from 0. Whereas line charts or scatter chart may not start from at 0 in y-axis. Okay, it can start from any number when necessary, I should say. But bar charts should always start at 0, okay? And also the labels on the x-axis here should be horizontal, not vertical like these, okay? But if this is not possible because of the limitation of the space, then you can tilt like these, you know, you can tilt, slope, like so. Okay, this is about bar chart. When you have two figures in maybe in one slide, or maybe as a part of one figure, figure A, figure B, then it's better to adjust the size of each component to the same length. Its height may be different. You know, the widths should be the same, like here, not like these. And also, the label for y-axis should be aligned, like here, not like here. Okay, okay, align, align, align. Okay. Maybe one more. Okay, okay. And again, when you have two graphs in one slide from the maybe from the same experiment or maybe from the same study, but so that they have same labels for the axis, you know, the month, density, like in this example, then you better omit this one, and you better use just one when these are common to two figures, like in this case. Okay. We are always trying to reduce the number of texts as low as possible. That's why we do this. Okay. This is the last slide for the figure. Okay. And again, I'm very sorry about the low quality of this slide. But the thing I would like to tell you is when presenting two figures, okay, two figures of the same experiment, then the, range or scale of y-axis should be same, not like this one. From, this one said before the y-axis start from 200 and ends in one panel in 400, whereas the other one ends at 300, 400, 300, different, starting from the same value, but ends in a different values. Okay, this is no good. This may make the readers and audiences to misinterpret your data. So in those cases, the scale or range for the y-axis should be same, starting in this example, starting from 200 finishing at 400 for both of them. This is must. This is absolutely must. Okay, be careful about this. These are about figures. Let's see how much. Okay, and graphics or photos. Okay, there are many internet resources, and I just picked up those several sites. If you are interested in, you go there and take a look. Some of them are free. You don't have to pay. But some others, they charge you. So be careful about that. But there are many sources of photos in the internet, and also icons. There are many sites for icons that you can use for your presentation. Actually, I use some of them for this presentation, the free one. And when you are dealing with photographs, okay, photographs, please be very careful about image manipulation. This is particularly true for manuscript, but you also have to be careful about image manipulation for presentation as well. And this is a paper which is useful to think about danger of image manipulation. So if you're interested in, you can easily find this on the internet. Okay, and the color, don't do these things, okay? But that, of course, the color is important, but color is important because using color in a good way, you can emphasize, you can highlight the important point, like these examples. Okay, so don't use too many colors. You know, our scientific presentation is not a decoration. Okay, and I skipped this. So now now I realize that I cannot finish my seminar within 1 hour. So I'm sorry about this. Now let me quickly show you examples from my last presentation. I show you draft version and the final version I used for a symposium at Serif, okay, College of Environment and Natural Resources, Saturday last week. One example is this. No, this is a title. This is the title. Name of symposium and date. That's it. So this is, you know, now I am showing examples. This is draft version or early versions for the my content slide. You know, this is my early idea to use in this presentation. I picked up 4 topics and I briefly explain, you know, like this. But then after some thought, I changed this slide into this slide. Actually, contents, the messages, contents are the same, essentially same, okay? But I selected to lower numbers. I modified this one into 3 questions like this. Why does the Mekong Delta matter? And so forth. My hope was this question style stimulate your audience to be involved, to be engaged, to think about the presentations, to join the presentation. That's why I changed into question style. And now this one has, 7 lines, and one line, maybe 6 or 7 words. And I forgot, but this font size was like 40 or 54, something like that, or at least 40, so that you can easily see. The second example is this one. This is again the draft, early version. In this example, I copied this table, okay, with a little bit of modification, but essentially I copied this table from internet site. But after some consideration, I noticed that what I really want to tell the audience is the importance of Mekong Delta. So the other areas like, Red River Delta and other areas actually doesn't matter. So I thought. So I modified this one into this one. I only picked up Vietnam, whole country, and Mekong Delta values and percentage, okay? So now the table contains few numbers, so that fonts are larger, easier for audience to read, to understand, okay? Similar thing is this one. This is also a draft version of one of my slides. Here I'm talking about climate change impacts. So initially I thought it was a good idea to explain somewhat about temperature and sea level rise and rainfall. And so I put numbers here, and I also put the maps here, okay? But the most important thing among these three is this one, sea level rise. So that in the final version, I modified into this one. I still used temperature, sea level rise, rainfall table up here, but I dropped 2 other maps and also only used this one for sea level rise, okay? Which is most important message I would like to tell my audience at this symposium. The same thing. This is about plastic trash. So again, I copied this table from this paper, okay? But finally, I changed to this one, okay? Only I selected 5 rivers and only 1 data column, make it larger. So modifying, I must say that modifying
Competence.
modifying table is relatively simple. You just type in, but modifying the figures is a lot more time consuming, I must say. Okay, and sometimes we copy, figures from publications. This is I took from my own publications, old one, and then I gradually changed this one. Now I put legends here, and this is almost the final one. Okay, colored, and this is also the colored one. So reduce the information and enlarge the fonts and use color to make the figures more appealing and easier to understand for your audiences. But I must say, modifying figures takes time, lots of time, so that this is not always possible. I know, but when time allows, you may try. So now rehearsing, okay? Section 4, rehearsing. Before my retirement of Nagasaki University, I had 2 PhD students and more Japanese PhD students, okay, of course. We always did rehearsal when PhD students or master course students, or even undergraduate students is going to give presentation a couple of times, So rehearsing is very important. First rehearsing, we didn't care about time. The student were allowed to talk as long as he or she wanted. But then gradually I pointed out, I gave suggestions and recommendations and pointed out changes, slides and the way they explained and order of slides and other things, so that finally it fits to allotted time, like 10 minutes talk or 15 minutes talk, and throw away all the unnecessary materials and leave only the essence of the study that a PhD student or a master course student have done, okay, to make clear message. What is most important is you give your audience a clear message of only essence, selected contents, so that they will remember what you have tried to give. Okay, rehearsing is important. So the PowerPoint tips, I know it's 10 o'clock now. I found that different versions of PowerPoint have different shortcuts and different icons and other things. One thing I found useful is this one. This is PowerPoint 2010. So in this case, when you place your pointer here and left click, you have this. And then if you go to this one, pen, then you can do this, okay? And if you go to highlighter, then you can highlight. If you want to change color, like, doesn't matter. You can do like so. So this may be useful when you are, particularly when you are giving lecture in a classroom. And when you want to erase, there are 2 kinds of erasers. And this erases everything, like so, okay? But again, please be sure that different versions of PowerPoint has different ways to do this. Another thing is that, when you give presentations, sometimes you wonder how many minutes I still have to finish before I finish my talk. And when you click here, use present view. And this is true only when you have 2 screens, okay? Your computer and screen. So on offline presentation, if you do this, suppose that this is a screen and this is the laptop, okay? And what you are seeing on your laptop while you are giving presentation is like this. So you have a timer here, okay? And this goes, of course, you know, this moves. This is 30 seconds. I started this sort of example presentation. And then you have next slide, okay, next slide. And if you make note, you have note here. In this case, I didn't, of course, this is title slide, so no note. And those, you know, pens and pointers. In this particular PowerPoint, you have this here, and enlarge. Other functions are version dependent. So, but please look at your own PowerPoint to find how you can do this. These are quite useful. And yes, this is almost the last thing. You know, when you are giving presentation, sometimes you want to make your screen black. Then you press this B, right? Now it's black. When you press again, and if you like to have white screen, then press W. Press again, like so. These are all, probably all you know, going back and forth. Okay. I found that oh, another thing is if you now what I'm doing here is this one. You know, there are two files with same content. Now I am using this one, PPTX, with this is an ordinary PowerPoint file type, so that when you start this one, when you click this one, PowerPoint starts, and then you start presentation, okay? But if you save your file as PPSX, not PPTX, when you click this one, presentation starts. Presentation directory starts. Okay, so you may be able to save time. And this may be useful when you have many presentation files in one computer, like in a workshop or symposium, so that you can save some time. And this is finally shortcut. Oh, this should work, but if you go to internet and try to find PowerPoint shortcuts, then you will easily find this kind of thing. And I found several sites for the PowerPoint shortcuts, and they explain different shortcuts, their functions, depending upon different versions of PowerPoint. So if you're interested in, you may try. I think that's it. That's it. Thank you very much. And sorry, I am behind the schedule, but if you have any question, I am more than happy to answer. Okay.
Dạ, xin kính mời quý thầy cô đặt câu hỏi ạ.
I hope my presentation have been of some use to you.
Professor,
Yes,
could you please show me again the way that you aligned the number on the decimal of the number? Because I didn't catch it that time. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, okay, sure. This one. Okay. Now, okay. What matters is this symbol here. Whenever you click, this changes. Okay. this flash left, center right, flash right, and then this one, with this dot here.
Oh, okay, thank you very
Yeah.
much. The alignment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
With this one, you can do this. Okay.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much
Yes.
for your
yes.
presentation. I'm sorry I cannot turn on my webcam now, but my question is, in case we use a video clip in our presentation, could you share with us some of the tips to show a video clip? How long should it be, or what are some technical problems with it?
Oh, well, even this morning I have had lots of technical problems here. Actually, I have no specific recommendation, but one thing you must be careful about is that if time allows, you go to the venue and you make sure if your video clip will work as you want, because sometimes even though you have done right thing, somehow things might not work as you wish. So that is the only thing I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for your advice.
And the video clip may not be too long.
Yeah.
Short and sharp.
Yes. We
Yes.
will figure out how to do things better after we fail a few times. That's how we learn things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, life is a continuous learning process.
Right.
Yeah. Of course. There are as many as 69 people here.
Dạ, xin mời quý thầy cô tiếp tục đặt câu hỏi ạ.
Hình như là trong nhóm mình có sinh viên đó mà Đăng Thủy. Có thể mời sinh viên cũng được.
Dạ. Các bạn sinh viên có bạn nào đặt câu hỏi không các bạn ơi? Thầy Khang, mời thầy Khang.
Excuse me, Sensei.
Yes.
So beside PowerPoint,
Yeah.
Do you usually use some other software or programs for the presentations, like Rehearsing or something like that?
Actually, no.
So just PowerPoint.
Yeah. Yes. But when I look back, when I started my presentation in 1977, there were no PowerPoint, of course.
Yeah.
We always using slide. And then OHP, overhead projector, this plastic sheet, and then finally PowerPoint. Yeah.
I see.
Yes. Macintosh popular here? Macs? Not really. Windows?
Yeah, most.
Probably in Japan, more people, I mean, of course, Windows is dominant, but some people really prefer Mac, particularly scientists.
Can I ask a question while we are waiting for other people to come in?
Yes.
Well, things can happen. What if we cannot open our PowerPoint?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
of course, say sorry, apologies, everything, but
yes.
but
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the that can happen, and we have to realize that main player of a presentation is a presenter, and the PowerPoint slides are only the aids of the presenter. So several papers said that you have to give your presentation even when your PowerPoint doesn't work for some reason. So
Right.
the driving power is you, not PowerPoint. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, saying
Well,
is
it depends. For some PowerPoint, if the information is too heavy, then we cannot just talk without the PowerPoint.
Yeah,
And,
but whenever possible, you may try to use whiteboard or blackboard or some other things.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome. This is like what Einstein told us. Right? You have to explain your findings to primary school student.
Right.
And they should understand you. Yeah, saying is easy, but doing, I don't know if I can do that.
Professor, I have one more question.
Yes.
What do you think, the background is white or the background is dark is better?
Yes. Actually, many people prefer dark background and light colored text. But it somewhat depends upon the room, the light, and other things. And I myself mostly use white background because it is similar to to books, to papers.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? But yeah, many people like dark background. That's true. Yes.
Because actually, when I take online, I found out that I use the white background, the light background, and it make my eyes sore. So I think maybe if take online, we should change to dark background. It's better. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing we might think about is there are a certain percentage of people who are colorblind, who cannot distinguish colors. Mostly red and green. Something like 6% or 8% of people cannot distinguish. So that use of those colors, we have to be careful about.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. This is my last task of JICA this time.
And some more from April.
Yeah, I will come back. Yes. So, everybody okay?
Yeah, very helpful, very useful for us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing with us those examples that you edited your PowerPoint slides before actually showing them. Yeah.
Thank you.
We tried. Yeah.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
So before we close the seminar, please turn on your camera and then we'll take the group photos.
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
Group photo.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hello.
Oh yes, Dr. Benis here, Professor Benis here. Please turn on your camera. I still have only like about 15 photos from you. Please turn on your camera.
Oh, more coming.
Yes, I'll take some. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Đăng Thủy.
Yes. Thank you very
Dạ,
much.
em cảm ơn quý thầy cô rất nhiều ạ.
Thank you.
So,
See you.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Thank you very much.
have a nice time in Vietnam before you come back to your hometown.
Yeah.
Home country.
Yeah. Yes. We will. We will. But not too much beer.
Okay. Hope to see you again, Professor.
Yes. Thank you very much for joining this seminar this morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yes. Bye-bye. Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
actually, I sent the email to the former participants. So,
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm leaving. Okay.